What is up, YouTube? Silver Dragons here, and in this video I want to talk about silver and kind of play devil's advocate and ask the question, what if we got it wrong? What if we made a big mistake buying all of this silver? What if it doesn't do what we hope it will do in the future? So let's do it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I do sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so this video is one that I've been thinking about for a very long time. I've been sort of contemplating, what if we got it wrong with silver? What if it doesn't store value over a long period of time? What if it goes to zero? What if you spend all this money on silver and then you basically lose your entire investment? So I think this is really something that everyone should be considering before you get into precious metals, or even if you've been into them for a long time. This is definitely something you should ponder. Now, I don't think silver is going to go to zero. I think it is a good idea to buy silver, but I do want to try and tackle these questions. And I also will say this video is a little bit different than my normal videos. It's more like podcast style. So if you hate these types of videos, then I guess shoot me a thumbs up on your way out. But really, you should try and listen to it if you can, because I think there is a lot of good information here. So maybe put it on during your commute or whatever. But let's get into the actual content here. So what if silver goes to zero? Well, what are the chances of that? Could it really ever go to zero? Because silver, unlike gold, is actually used quite a bit in industry. And I know silver stackers talk about this all the time. You know, it's in solar panels, it's in your phone, computer. You know, they're putting it in clothes because bacteria can't really grow on silver. So your clothes will smell better if they have silver in them. You know, it's used in medicine. And so silver is needed. Now, gold is needed as well, but typically gold is looked at as more of just money, right? I mean, central banks buy it. So yes, gold and silver have both been looked at as money, but silver has, in my opinion, more intrinsic value. Like, what can you actually do with silver? Do we really need silver? And the answer is yes. We need silver for everything, right? And so I think that, you know, could silver ever really go to zero? Well, let's just say that silver went to $1 an ounce. I know this is crazy and outlandish, but let's just say it did. What would actually happen if silver went that low? Would the people that are mining for silver keep mining? And again, I know silver is a byproduct of other mining. So, you know, maybe they're mining for uranium and they find silver or whatever. Are they still going to mine for uranium? Yeah, of course. But what are they going to do with the silver that they actually pull out of the ground? Are they going to sell it for $1 an ounce? Well, absolutely not. In fact, when silver went down quite a bit at the start of 2020, I actually interviewed Keith Neumeyer, who's the CEO of First Majestic Silver. Their ticker symbol is AG. They're super popular right now because Wall Street Silver, you know, a lot of those people are buying AG stock and whatnot. But they mine for silver in Mexico. They're the world's purest silver miner. I forget what their slogan is or whatever, but very big company, mine a lot of silver, right? They were not selling silver when it went down to 12, 13 bucks an ounce, the spot price, when it went that low. They refused to sell any of their silver because they weren't going to make any money on it. So they kept mining. Obviously there were shutdowns and they couldn't mine as much as before, but they held on to all of their silver. So I think if it went to like $1 an ounce, if silver ever went that low, then the mining companies would either stop altogether, especially if they're mining only silver, or they would refuse to sell the silver that they had mined. So what this would do is this would decrease the amount of available silver that is on the marketplace, right? And so I think right now this year we've mined about 500 million ounces of silver. You can look at all these numbers. I look at the usdebtclock.org, and they've got all the numbers. It's like 500 and something million ounces have been mined so far this year in 2021. So I think, because demand would still be there, especially industrial demand for silver, the price, maybe it goes down to $1 for like a day, and then it would shoot back up. And so there is value in silver. There's intrinsic value. It's always going to have value. But beyond just the industrial applications, there also is value in silver because we can use it as money, as a means of exchange. It is fairly rare. It's not as rare as gold or platinum or some of these other metals, but it is much more rare than, say, copper, right? Copper is not even a precious metal. It's very prevalent. You can find copper all over the place, right? There's huge stores of copper in this earth that we live in. There's a lot less silver. There's even less gold, even less platinum, but silver still is fairly rare. It is a precious metal. And so I think we could definitely use it as money forever. It's not like a fiat currency that a government controls. It has intrinsic value, and individuals can use it to barter with, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously everyone points to like SHTF, what if the government implodes and there's, chaos, you got to fend for yourself, the just apocalyptic scenario. Would you be able to use silver to buy things? I think yes. So I think there is lots of value in silver. I don't think it's ever going to go to $1 an ounce. That's ridiculous. In fact, I don't know if it'll ever even go below $20 an ounce again because of inflation. And I did talk about this in one of my recent videos, but Fed Chair Jerome Powell talked about transitory inflation, and he essentially said that the price of everything that has gone up over the last year or so is not likely to go back down. Now, some things the price will go down because of supply and demand, but for example, silver, the price has gone up and it could likely stay where it's at, and then with inflation continue to slowly go up. So, will we ever see $20 silver again? I don't know. I mean, at least for the spot price, I don't know. As far as physical silver, there is still a premium on it. The premiums are coming down a little bit over the last year, but it still is in high demand. So, I don't know if we'll ever see silver go that low, but we might. I remember back in 2018, I was stacking and I was making videos, as I do. And people comment all sorts of things, right? There's trolls in the comment section. There's people just making fun of you or liking the video or whatever. And I hope if you comment, you're honest. If you dislike something about the video, that's fine. I really don't ever delete any comments unless they're super vulgar or inappropriate. So feel free to speak your mind. Hopefully it's mostly positive. But silver was around, $16 or $17 an ounce at that time. And a lot of people in the comment, not a lot, but some of them were saying, hey, silver is a joke. It was $50 an ounce. Now it's 17, and it's going to keep going down. It's going to go to $10 to $5. It's basically worthless. It's just a rock. It's a joke. It doesn't hold any value, etc., etc. And I guess I could see if you got in at the peak back in 2011 and you bought a bunch of silver for $50 or $60 an ounce because there was premiums on top of the spot price, and then you saw it go down to 15, you maybe were a little concerned. But if you go back in time, obviously it was, when I was born, silver was $3-4 an ounce or something like that. So generally speaking, it will shoot up because of demand, come back down. Of course, there was the Hunt brothers back in the 80s who, they tried to corner the silver market, and the price went up extremely high and went right back down. So, crazy stuff like that can happen. But generally speaking, over a long period of time, it goes up. Could we have gotten it wrong is the question. Could we have made a miscalculation or a mistake in buying silver in that it won't store our wealth? It won't be a hedge against inflation. And I think that if you look back in time, it has a really good track record of being a good hedge against inflation. It generally does go up over time. The value of the dollar goes down and the price of goods and services go up. That's just how it works in a fiat system. I mean, the dollar is not tied to anything. It's not backed by gold. It's just backed by the faith of the people, right? And so the dollar will continue to get weaker over time, year over year, decade over decade. That's just the way it goes with fiat currencies. When the government has control over the money supply and they can create as much money as they want to fund all these programs that they want, stimulus, whatever they're using the money for, it doesn't matter. If they keep on creating more and more money, this is going to increase inflation, and the government has targets for inflation. They know it is going to happen, and they say, okay, well, it's going to happen, but let's just try and keep it around 2%. That's our goal. Well, they haven't been doing a very good job of that recently, but I just think it is absolutely crazy to store your wealth into something that is being eroded away, like the dollar, and you have no control over how fast it is getting eroded away. It's absolute insanity to me. So I know I'm a little bit biased. I have a YouTube channel talking about silver. I buy silver myself. I definitely think it is a good idea. Now, I don't think you should be putting all of your money into silver. You should definitely diversify your investments. There are certain companies that I invest in. I'm in the stock market. I have a 401k, and silver is just a part of my portfolio, but I think it's a very important, pivotal part, and I don't think you really can get it wrong with precious metals because they are safe haven assets. That's kind of the whole point of them. So could you get it wrong with other investments? Are there certain companies you could invest in that would go to zero? Absolutely. What about cryptocurrencies? Could you put your money into cryptos and then they go to zero? Absolutely. But silver and gold, they can't go to zero because of their intrinsic value. And I know I've kind of been harping on that word intrinsic. It just means belonging naturally or essential. There is essential value tied to these metals. And there has been for thousands and thousands of years. And especially with silver, it's going to continue to have this essential value because we need it in so many different things, especially with the whole green energy boom that's going on right now. You know, solar panels, electric cars, electronics in general. They need silver. So I don't think it is possible to get it wrong with silver, at least not in that way. Now, there might be certain types of silver that don't do as well as other types of silver over a long period of time, and I do talk about that in a lot of my different videos. In fact, I'll put a card up at the top and a link down below in the description if you want to watch my best and worst types of silver to buy for stacking and investing. It's actually my most popular video, so check it out if you haven't already. But that is my opinion. I don't think you can get it wrong with silver and gold. And so for those reasons, I'm going to continue to stack. I'm going to continue to press on. Now, if you enjoyed this video or podcast, I suppose, definitely smash that thumbs up. That's one way you can help out my channel. And it also tells YouTube to suggest the video more. So hopefully more people will watch this. But I think it is something that we definitely should be contemplating. And if there's anything that I missed, please leave some comments down below in the comments section. What are your thoughts on silver? Is it possible to go to zero? Is it possible to go down dramatically from where it is currently? I guess unless we have another repeat of 2020 and complete shutdown, stock market crash, and everyone needs to have cash, then we could see silver go down temporarily, at least the spot price, but not the actual price of silver. The price to obtain physical silver, I don't think would go down if that happens again. So that would be very short-lived. And really, when it comes to the price of silver, we look to the price of physical silver because that's what we have to pay to obtain it. So anyway, that was the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.